Galileo Galilei, one of the most famous scientists in history, is known for his revolutionary discoveries in astronomy and physics. But what did he believe about education in society? Was he just a thinker of the stars, or did his ideas stretch into how we should approach learning and knowledge? Let's dive into Galileo's thoughts on education. Galileo was a man of reason, observation, and evidence. His approach to education was rooted in these principles. For Galileo, education wasn't just about memorizing facts, it was about understanding the world through first-hand observation and critical thinking. He believed in the importance of the scientific method, where knowledge is built upon experimentation, observation, and logical reasoning. In his work on astronomy, Galileo demonstrated how learning comes from questioning the world around us. He didn't just accept the accepted truths of his time, he challenged them. This radical idea of questioning and experimentation should be at the core of any educational system. But Galileo's ideas were not always well received. During his time, the Catholic Church had significant control over intellectual life, and its teachings often clashed with Galileo's scientific discoveries. For example, Galileo's support of the Copernican heliocentric model, which stated that the Earth revolved around the Sun, directly contradicted the Church's belief in a geocentric universe, where Earth was at the center. Despite this, Galileo believed that education should not be limited by religious dogma. He argued that true education should encourage curiosity and the pursuit of knowledge, regardless of prevailing authority or traditional beliefs. His courage to stand by his discoveries, even when it cost him greatly, exemplifies his commitment to independent thinking. Galileo also had strong opinions about the role of universities. At a time when most academic institutions were centered around classical education, focused on ancient texts, philosophy, and theology, Galileo called for more emphasis on the sciences and empirical learning. As a professor at the University of Padua, Galileo advocated for a hands-on approach to learning. He emphasized that students should engage with the world directly, observe nature, and perform experiments. For him, learning wasn't just about absorbing knowledge from books, it was about making discoveries for oneself. One of Galileo's greatest contributions to education was his advocacy for the scientific method. He stressed that knowledge could only be trusted if it was obtained through careful observation, experimentation, and reasoning. This method became the cornerstone of modern science and should, according to Galileo, be an integral part of any educational system. Galileo's philosophy was clear: education should not only teach students facts, but also empower them with the tools to question, test, and discover truths for themselves. Although Galileo lived in a very different time, his ideas about education have relevance today. He believed that the pursuit of knowledge should be accessible to everyone, not just the elite. Galileo's call for observation and reason implies that education should foster creativity, curiosity, and critical thinking in every individual, regardless of their background. Galileo's legacy shows us that education is not about memorizing static information, but about nurturing the curiosity to ask questions and explore the unknown. It's about creating thinkers, not just learners. Galileo's vision for education was revolutionary. It was about empowering individuals to think for themselves, to question the status quo, and to seek knowledge through reason and observation. His beliefs are as relevant today as they were in the 17th century, reminding us that true education is about unlocking the potential within each of us to change the world. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Let us know, how do you think Galileo's approach to education can be applied to our modern-day classrooms?